I've made a huge leap beyond my fear of being seen. I'm talking over 70 days of daily YouTube videos posted, just over 300 podcast episodes. And listen, your girl has been showing up consistently, okay? And even with all of that, I still recognize that there's still some work to be done when it comes to setting up this new default of being seen instead of living in the fear of it. And realizing there's still some work to do, it's not disappointing. It's actually a sign of growth. And how many times do we give ourselves a hard time because we're not where we think that we should be? When really, what we should be focusing in on is the progress that we've actually made. So, cheers to making progress and still realizing that there's still some work to do because both can be true at the same time. So, let's really get into it. And listen, let me just start this video by saying, friend, it's late. I can't get the song Smooth Criminal out of my mind. So I don't know how good or coherent this video is going to be, but here we are. I'm just going to keep it real, okay? But now I can't go a day without making a video. So we just here and we're going to have some fun, okay? So, cheers to officially day 77 of posting YouTube videos every single day. And I have officially reached 301 podcast episodes. So, let's clap it up, okay? Clap, clap, clap. Yes. Ew. Let's normalize celebrating our wins, okay? Because listen, you're not always going to have a crowd of people to pat you on the back and give you that thunderclap, okay? So you might as well celebrate yourself because these are not just small wins. These are wins that are stacking up. And, 77 days from now is going to be very, very different. So, normalize setting up milestones that you can celebrate yourself along the way because every road that we decide to go down, it's a journey. It is not a flip of a switch and boom, we're there. So we might as well enjoy the journey and celebrate ourselves along the way, okay? So let's do more of that together. Okay, friend? And I'm gonna be glancing at my notes here and there because, again, it's late. I journaled about this earlier today and I'm tired, okay? So, okay, the first little note that I grabbed from my journal is just celebrating this win and how far you've come because it is really worth honoring, and so are you. I don't think that we really recognize just how much we've grown as we hit certain ages or milestones in our life. We don't often look back in celebration of just all that we've been through to get to this place. I have had that fear of being seen for most of my life. I mean, since I was a little girl. And to be here at this grown stage in my life and finally be free of it, it is one of the most beautiful experiences I've had in my life. And when I think back to just how much that fear impacted every aspect of my life, it impacted the partners that I chose. It impacted the decisions that I made in the workplace and how far I took myself in the workplace. And even with having success, even with still being able to achieve things with that fear, I know that there's still so much more that I could have done had that fear not been there. And so to now be in this space where it has taken me some years, even as a coach, to really make videos and to be okay with making videos and to even just be at this place where I actually love it. I love making long form videos. The more minutes, the better. I'm a yapper. I love it. I got a lot to say. So for me to be able to be in this place, to be honest with you, I just never thought I would get here. I never thought that I would be without that fear of being seen, being okay with putting myself out there, and still realizing that, I've had that fear for most of my life. So let's say a lifetime. And to now that not be my home base, I'm still building up this space of being seen. And I'm still recognizing that I can still even take myself further outside of my comfort zone and even make some more bold moves. I recently started posting on threads and I love hanging out on threads. Threads is fun. It is like Disneyland for adults. I don't know how to describe it. It's like Disneyland for adults, but virtually. I don't know how the algorithm works over there or how you end up dropped off smack dab in the middle of a conversation. And sometimes it's so random, you don't even know how you got there or who invited you. But it is so, so fun. And one of the things that I love to do over there is just drop some encouragement inside of somebody's post. People are going through things, and sometimes even the people closest to them have no clue what they're going through or what they're facing. And they'll just make a post on threads and you get a chance to bring some light and positivity to someone who could really be struggling. And I love, 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 love being able to do that. There was a beautiful post that I seen, a man who was missing his wife who had passed a year or so ago. And he just missed her reminding him to do things. So his post was to ask people to remind him to do something that he could pretend that he'd done, but he was going to do. And the response was incredible. I was crying, laughing, heartful, all of the emotions because some people were responding with humor and he would too. And some people were really reminding him of real things that really need to happen, like, please clean the lint out of the dryer, make sure that the insurance policy is up to date. Make sure that the boys are covered and listed on the insurance policies. Like all of like it was a gamut of everything that you can think to remind. Now wives especially, you got to remind your husbands, honey. It's time to change the air filters, like those things. So it was all of that along with real things that really do take precedent, that really are priority, that need to be done. And it was just such a beautiful response because it was just jam packed with comment after comment after comment. And I added my little 2 cents as well. And I really just encouraged him. I recognized that he'd been doing such a good job with the honey do list, if you will. And I asked, had he done something fun or special for himself? Because it's so easy to get caught up in the adulting and the parenting and all of the things that fun or doing something special for ourselves is often nowhere in sight. And I hadn't seen anybody mention anything like that. So I just reminded him to do something fun or something special for himself, whether it's hanging out with the guys, shooting some hoops, or even catching an early round of golf. And then I also reminded him that his wife is still with him. She's probably hugging him right now in this very moment, and she's smiling, and her energy is still very much alive and well, and she hasn't missed a beat. And I was so touched with his response. He thanked me truly. And that just warmed my heart. And seeing so many people appreciate that comment as well, I think it's just such a good reminder for all of us, especially when we are going through grief, because a lot of times the last thing we are thinking about is doing something that's fun or something special for ourselves, because grief can just be so all consuming. And so I'm loving it on Threads because you just really get a chance to connect and really embrace these beautiful moments that we have, that it could be a complete stranger, and to know that you brought a smile to their face, you lightened their load for even just a moment. And really just remembering that our loved ones that make their transition to heaven, they are still around. Their energy has not gone anywhere. It's still very much alive. And I love to think that my mom isn't missing anything in my life. She may not be physically here, but she is up to date on what your girl got going on, okay? And I think that all of our loved ones, they love to see us living. So that was my amazing Threads moment of the week. And I'm just loving hanging out over there. But it is me putting myself out there. It is me spreading my message, which is encouragement over everything, because we are going to go through everything in life, the highs, the lows, the ups, the downs, and everything in between. And no matter what it is that we're going through, we have to encourage over everything, because sometimes it's that very encouragement that is going to get us through everything. Okay. Okay. And something I really spent a lot of time thinking about this week is that default setting of being seen, and how I'm very much still actively building it. Even though I'm 77 days in to making YouTube videos every day, and even though I'm 301 podcast episodes in, I'm still very much building this new version of me who is fine with putting herself out there, who is excited and happy to allow her light to shine. And it's such a beautiful place to be in. And I know when we are growing and really becoming this next level version of ourselves, that in between, that messy middle, like Jenna Kutcher calls it, it's an awkward space to be in just because it's new, and is so important to just grant ourselves grace as we are becoming this beautiful butterfly version of ourselves. Right now, this part of the journey can very much feel like the caterpillar in the goop. And that is okay. The goop is a part of the transformation. So I just want to remind you that if you are also in your growing season, if you are also pursuing a big dream or a big goal, or just even embracing a new role and responsibility in your life, It is okay to be in this messy middle where you are establishing a new default. And I just want to remind both of us that one day this too will be normal. When I first started posting videos every day, it was not a normal thing to do. It felt very uncomfortable, but yet I was so committed that I was willing to move through that discomfort. And we have to just be okay with carrying around that discomfort for however long it decides to stick around. It doesn't mean that you still don't move forward and do what you committed to do, but it does mean that you're going to feel awkward and it's going to be uncomfortable. But that is normal until it's no longer there because you've made your new habit your new norm. So, really just being okay with it being a little uncomfortable for a minute and just remembering that it's temporary. It is not a feeling that's going to be around forever. And I think that when we are in it, it feels very permanent when really and truly it is super temporary. And so I just want to encourage you that if you are in that uncomfortable space, it's okay. It's going to pass. And if you can just stay with yourself and not abandon yourself and not turn around and go back to your old default, then you will be so very proud of yourself because it's easy to turn around. Being 77 days in, it's hard for me to turn around now and go back to hiding, to go back to only having a audio only podcast. It would be super easy to turn around. But now making videos is my new normal. And now I don't want to be without it. So just remember that it'll be uncomfortable, it'll be awkward, and that's okay. We are human. We're meant to experience the whole gamut of human emotions. And the more emotions that you get to experience, the richer your life is. So it's okay if you got to carry around that discomfort for a little while. Just remember it's temporary. And before you know it, you will have established a new normal that you not only enjoy, but you love. Okay, friend. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And let me get you your journal prompt real quick. I'm sorry because, like, instantly, I don't know what the deal is. I think I just need to listen to Smooth Criminal like 10 times because I just have not been able to get it out of my mind. You've been hit by a smooth criminal. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Okay. Let me get back on track. It's too late. I should have made this video earlier today. Okay. Here's your journal prompt. Where are you proud of your progress? And where do you recognize there's still room to grow? Both answers deserve your attention, friend. Definitely take some time with this one. Allow yourself a little space to just breathe it out and see what comes up for you because you really should be super proud of the progress that you've made. Maybe you're not quite where you want to be, but you are definitely well on your way. And that progress deserves to be celebrated. When I first started this YouTube journey, I was not consistent. I started in December, I started strong, and I fell off. And then it was on and off, on and off. And I recommitted February 15th. And from that day until now, I have not missed a day of posting a video every single day. And my next major milestone will when I hit that 100 days, honey. It's going to be a party, okay? So the journey isn't always perfect. It's rarely ever linear. You're not always just going on this upward trajectory. We love to think that that's the way that it works, but oftentimes it doesn't. And that is still okay because it's not about the missteps. It's the fact that you keep taking steps. Ooh, that was good. Friend, you better write that down. You can go ahead and rewind that one, okay? That was good. Okay, friend, meet me in the comments and tell me what's one area where you are proud of your progress this week. I cannot wait to pump you up and celebrate you, friend, in those comments. So definitely make sure that you meet me there. I really hope that you love this video just as much as I love making it for you. And as I love to remind you at the end of these videos, friend, I love myself so much, I don't play about me. And if you hang out with me long enough, you will love yourself so much that you won't play about you either. Okay, friend? Okay, girl. I'm super proud of you. I'm sending you great big virtual hugs, and I'll meet you in the comments, and I will see you in the next video tomorrow.